You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Now it's time for Facts First.
All right, hot off the facts. Here they are from Slick Mick, our AI producer. He's got a few comic facts for us. What was the first comic book published? I have no idea, so thank you, Mick.
No idea, yep.
The first comic book is often considered to be The Adventures of Obadiah Oldbuck, published in the US in 1842.
That rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
It must have been a classic.
Oil just slips off.
Featuring illustrated stories in a strip format. However, the first modern-style comic book was called Famous Funnies #1 and was released in 1934. It's widely recognised as the first American comic book sold on newsstands, marking the beginning of the comic book industry.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, the first trading card.
What is it?
So the first trading cards were actually cigarette cards produced in the 1880s. So going back a couple of years by tobacco companies like Allen and Ginter. They were introduced in cigarette packs to stiffen the packaging, essentially, and promote brand loyalty. So one of the earliest known sets was the World Championships from 1886, featuring athletes including boxers, baseball players, as well as other public figures.
Right.
So these early cards laid the groundwork for modern sports and trading cards. So
which have become so popular. And expensive. Speaking of expensive.
So most expensive... What do you think? Our most expensive card ever. So what do you think?
Well, it's got to be a sports card, right? Because they are so popular. I don't know which one, but hit me with it, Chris.
Okay. So as of today, the most valuable trading card ever sold is a 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle baseball card,
right?
Which sold for how much do you reckon?
A few million.
Dry $12.6 million US in August 2022.
$12.6 million US dollars.
Yep, for a piece of cardboard. Yep. So this particular card was graded SGC at 9.5, so that's a mint plus, making it one of the highest quality examples of this iconic and a highly sought after card. The sale broke all previous records for sport and trading cards, making it the most expensive trading card of all time today. $12.5 million. Unbelievable.
For a piece of cardboard, as you said. Yeah, right. What was the first comic book sold in Australia?
No idea. Blinky Bill.
I actually thought it might have been Blinky Bill, but not far off though. Australia's first comic book is generally considered to be The Kookaburra, published in 1931, which marked a move away from British reprints. It featured original Australian characters like Bloodthirsty Ben and Perky Pete.
Bloodthirsty, yeah.
Sounds a bit like the Kangamen.
It does.
While earlier works like Ginger Meg's Annuals existed, the Kookaburra is recognised as the first sustained locally produced comic in Australia. Now, what is the best-selling comic book series in Australia?
I'll take a wild star. I'm going to go Blinky Bill again.
No, I don't think so. Not Blinky Bill.
Not Blinky.
The best-selling comic book in Australia in 2023 was 20,000 Fleas Under the Sea by Dav Pilkey, which is part of the Dogman series, with approximately 80,000 copies sold. I know Dogman because I've got kids, so I know what that is. But the all-time best-selling comic book series in Australia is The Phantom, published by Frew Publications, written by Lee Falk. There's a copy of The Phantom right there. It was first released in Australia in 1948 and has become Australia's longest running and most successful comic series with over 1,500 issues published. Now, it's not an Australian-based comic. Lee Falk is not Australian, but it is highly successful in Australia, more so here than in any other country. There you go.
I would never have picked The Phantom wouldn't have picked it. The highest grossing comic book film of all time. Have a crack. What do you think?
I'm going to go with Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. You're very close with that.
We might find out about Howard the Duck later on.
We could do. So the highest grossing comic book film of all time was The Avengers Endgame from 2019, which earned approximately $2.8 billion worldwide. So it did all right. The Marvel Studio production surpassed... Made a few. It surpassed Avengers, Infinity War, and became the second highest grossing film ever after Avatar. Wow. 2.8 billion.
It did well. Didn't do as good as this next one. Least profitable comic book film of all time. It's not Howard the Duck. It's actually one of the worst films in terms of profit. And it's Green Lantern from 2011, starring Ryan Reynolds. He did go on to make some better comic book films.
He did, yeah, he did. Couple.
It had a budget of around $200 million and grossed only $220 million worldwide, which was considered a huge financial disappointment, obviously, once marketing and distribution costs were factored in. And this made it a noticeable box office failure in the superhero genre. There you go.
I've seen 10 minutes of it, and I don't understand where 200 million went. It's a
Catering.
bucket of shit.
Went to catering.
It's a bucket of shit.
That's one of the worst of all time. But let's talk about our best of all time. Let's go to some top fives.
Top fives.